My name is Alex Harris. My website is alexdesigns.com. I'm a website designer focused on conversion rate optimization, A/B testing, and creating landing pages.
Learn to improve conversions and generate more leads with the video podcast at marketingoptimization.tv. We've been talking all about qualitative and quantitative data and how to use that to get bigger impacts from our tests. Because it doesn't matter how easy testing is. If you're not testing the right things, then you're not getting the best results possible. So I want to take you through 5 quick wins to higher conversions. And this strategy can be perfect for your e-commerce site, your Saas product, your landing pages, or your blog and WordPress site. It really is perfect for any scenario. And on average, from the results from doing this strategy, we've received over a 50% conversion improvement from almost all the tests we run, especially in the early quick win process. In the last major case study that we ran, we actually received a 65% conversion improvement. And this narrowed out to $2,000 more per revenue per user in that conversion test. So let me tell you a little bit about me. My name is Alex Harris, and my website is alexdesigns.com. I've been doing e-commerce sites, landing pages now for over 13 years. I also have this podcast, Marketing Optimization, and now in 2014, I've really been focusing on fine-tuning my conversion optimization skills for e-commerce, SaaS companies, and subscription products. I live in South Florida with my wife and my 3 dogs, and I've built over hundreds of different e-commerce sites, thousands of different landing pages, and many, many different WordPress sites on all different platforms: Magento, HubSpot, Unbounce, BigCommerce, NetSuite, all the different platforms out there. Over the process, I've completed over 5,000 different A/B tests. I actually worked at a .com for 11 years, and I tested almost every single day there. And we use many different tools now, like Visual Website Optimizer, Optimizely, and Convert.com. I also done thousands of different landing pages focused on lead generation, opt-ins, and building your blog. Some great people that I have had the chance to work with, like Brian Eisenberg, he gave me a great testimonial. He said that I was one of his secret weapons for many years. Also, I do a lot of work with Shopify and BigCommerce clients, and this particular client from GetUnrobe.com said I increased her conversion 5 times. So let's jump right into 5 quick wins to higher conversions. They are listed out almost very similar to my master website conversion course. Getting qualitative data, getting quantitative data, creating a hypothesis, and then using that to create a unique value proposition and language for your marketing. And then number 5, winning quickly. Iterating quickly and finding the right things to actually test. How do we do that? Number 1, starting with qualitative data. Understanding that why. What is actually going on in the customer's mind? Do they like your content? How can they improve your articles? What's next? The post that you should be writing? These are all opinions that are really aggregated and into an individual person, and then creating different personas for people. We build these different personas to create the ideal click paths for each of our visitors. We want to find out their pains and problems and desires from each of these ideal clients. And some of the qualitative tools that we use to do this would be user testing, Qualaroo, Clicktail, even Crazy Egg or MailChimp and Gmail and Aweber are qualitative tools. Talking to your customers as much as you possibly can, and they will tell you secrets about your website. One of the tools that we use a lot is user testing. We'll watch people go through our websites, our clients' websites, and the queries that they be thinking about before they actually arrive at your site. This will help us collect data, and we also collect data using tools like SurveyMonkey, where people tell us exactly what their problems are and if they would recommend us or not. Once we have that qualitative information, now that's the baseline for our hypothesis. But before that, we want to align it with real numbers data. And we now need to use quantitative tools to figure out the right analytics and the right data metrics to create our goals. One of the major ones that most people use is Google Analytics, but you can also use your A/B testing software like Visual Website Optimizer or Optimizely to collect that data. There's also other analytics tools like Kissmetrics or Clicky, but also you want to use the data from your e-commerce site or your CRM. your popovers like Opt-in Monster, your data from MailChimp and Aweber, all of this data together is very important to really start figuring out where to test. Now we have an idea of the qualitative data, who is visiting our site, and now we're looking at the quantitative data to see where they're going actually on the site. This is all broken up into the 80-20 rule. You're going to make 80% of your traffic off of 20% of your pages. So now you want to break it up into your most traffic pages by revenue, your highest bounce rate pages, and then your top AdWords by conversion rate. So top traffic by landing pages. Using Google Analytics, you can simply go into the behavior section and organize your site by top traffic landing pages. You then want to reorganize them also by bounce rate. This will tell you where the most opportunity is by a page that has a lot of traffic and it has a high bounce rate. So obviously you want to improve that bounce rate as well. Now we start to really narrow down the quantitative analytics, because we were looking at top traffic pages by bounce rate and by visitors. And now you want to segment out even differently by revenue. This is if a site has a lot of visitors and a high bounce rate and is potentially going to create a lot of revenue, all you have to do is make a couple changes right there, and then you will have bigger wins. That is the key right there, matching up the data with the qualitative aspects to eventually build our hypothesis. Aside from the traffic data, we also want to understand the actual conversion rates and what goals are you going to track. So what's the conversion rate by those individual pages? Because now we're going to be able to start to track revenue. One of the tools that I use actually to track revenue is Visual Website Optimizer. It allows me to track the dollar amount back to an individual page. Then I can also use Visual Website Optimizer heat maps to understand exactly what people are actually clicking on those pages. Now I have the top traffic pages by revenue, by bounce rate, and now I know exactly where they're clicking on. That's where you actually start to test. Now we want to also determine the keywords that are driving to those pages. And we do that using AdWords. You can simply go into AdWords and segment by search terms by match type and find out which terms are driving the most traffic and driving the most conversions. If they're driving a lot of traffic but not converting, maybe you want to create those into negative keywords. So we also want to determine how people are actually seeing the site. We want to go into your analytics data and figure out what browsers they're using, and if they're using, different mobile or desktop experience. From this, we then run heat maps to actually figure out, what they're clicking on. Are they clicking on items above the fold? And if they are clicking on items below the fold, maybe you want to bring those items up. Now you know exactly what's going on your pages, and this is where you start to actually test. Is it a mobile experience? Is it Safari? Is it Internet Explorer? What browsers are they using? How do people really see your website? You want to take a look at their favorite browsers. If you have a lot of people using old IE browsers, that may mean that they're still in schools or government agencies that use this type of browser. That's going to define your demographic. That's very important part of building your persona. So number 3 is all about the hypothesis. We gathered qualitative data and quantitative data, and now we're actually going to build our hypothesis. We understand exactly what is going to be important to the stakeholders and what is going to be important for our individual tests. So we want, from this hypothesis, we're going to create KPIs, key performance indicators. In this case, what our conversion goals and our success metric is. Not only in e-commerce do you want that final goal, but there are many micro conversions leading up to that. For example, how many people click the add to cart button. Now we know exactly the type of people who are visiting our site. In the case of a diet and fitness website, you could be having a lot different people who are a family looking to run versus a bodybuilder versus a woman actually wanting to lose weight. So you're going to have many different people visiting your site with different segments. They have different needs. They have different pains that they're trying to solve. We'll take a look at a case study really quick. Initially, when I was building a particular whey protein powder page, the survey, the user testing people told us that the page was too busy, that there's a lack of support for the claims that we were mentioning, that it was unsure of how many calories or servings were in each of the different jars and what were the ingredients. And they also wanted to compare these products with their competitors. So what we did was we used that as a hypothesis to create a new landing page, one with a clear headline, one with that had support for the claims, that showed the ingredients above the fold, and had clear direction on what to do next, along with all the benefits. From this result, we actually received a 65% increase in conversion by taking the qualitative data and the quantitative data, figuring out exactly where to test, and then creating a hypothesis to actually perform that test. In the end, we received a total revenue improvement of $3,000 per person, and that's where it really starts to create some magic. We then use everything we learned to really determine all the next steps for all of our different tests. And number 4 is probably one of the most important ones, creating that UVP, or using the right language. You want to understand exactly what the company does by explaining that in a clear headline or a clear tagline, because you do not want to make people think. An example of this is Trunk Club. If you visit trunkclub.com, they have a very nice clear headline that says hand-selected clothing for men, premium clothes, personalized stylists, 0 membership fees. That's their unique value proposition. Very clear, with a button reiterating to get started. There's also their competitor, Suitly, custom tailored suits and shirts for men. Go shopping. Very clear value proposition. They're getting people to click and do something next. Here's an example of a page that we created selling whey protein powder. Their unique value proposition is the world's best tasting, highest quality, all natural meal replacement protein shakes. People know exactly what they're going to get when they click add to cart. This is a great example of how to use a unique value proposition and then take the language that you learn in your qualitative research and use that language back into your marketing material. Next is to figure out how to scale. Winning quickly is the final step in this quick win process. You want to really figure out what you learned in all of your tests and then apply that to all of the other templates on your website. For instance, if you have a landing page that actually wins, you want to take that landing page and create other landing pages from other products and see if you can scale those wins over time. This is an example that you can do using Facebook. You also want to run Facebook ads with everything that you learned that actually has won. Then you want to create landing pages specifically that drive traffic from those Facebook ads. Example is Dollar Shave Club. They run great Facebook ads that are either remarketing or just based on certain demographic, and then they drive traffic to landing pages that are performing at their best optimal peak. Lastly, you want to leverage other channels. Once you learn that language and the UVP and the headlines that are really working, you then want to test those ads on Facebook. Use imagery from those ads and put them in your Facebook ads. Create an unpublished post with the picture of one of those winning images, and then try to scale those wins to other channels. You could target based on your competitors as well. You can also do the same thing with AdWords. Use headlines that you've heard in the user testing research, and then put those in your retargeting ads or your display ads. And then you can figure out the best keywords that are driving the biggest conversions and use those keywords in your headlines as well. So this is a clear example that every website out there is unique. It doesn't matter if you're selling sporting goods, biking equipment, apparel, vitamins. Every situation is going to be unique to you. You can't go out there and just copy Amazon or do what your competitors are doing. Every website out there is completely unique, and that's why I recommend going through this 5-step process to understand your qualitative data, your quantitative data, creating a hypothesis, establishing your personas with a unique value proposition, and then winning quickly, scaling those wins in order to really improve your bottom line. This is the formula that we go through in our 5-step formula to master website conversions. It's all about that discovery process, creating a hypothesis, executing and creating tests, reviewing the analytics, and then scaling and growing over time. If you want to learn more about me, you can visit my website, alexdesigns.com, where we focus on conversion optimization to make more money from your website and generate more leads. We do landing pages, e-commerce, WordPress, all kinds of A/B testing. You can check us out more at alexdesigns.com. Thank you for watching the Marketing Optimization Podcast with Alex Designs. Please remember to subscribe to all of the videos in my YouTube channel. Thank you.